Welcome back. We are 9 days out from the start of the regular season. Teams are starting to figure out their lineups. And for Vancouver, they've got some interesting decisions to make. I would say based on today's game, there's maybe some guys who didn't necessarily play themselves onto the roster, and there's a couple that I think warrant further looks in their last few games here before the preseason's done. For the Jets, it's kind of a throwaway, but Evgeny Svechnikov has to get a contract, right? He just has to. So we'll get into this. Pedersen and Hughes both skated today. They won't play this game or the next one. Their expectation is to play the last two preseason games. And of course, being premier talents, because they were skating in Michigan, it really shouldn't be a problem. It was Burden versus Halak. Early chances for the Canucks. The Jets press at 3 minutes, but then the Canucks get it. They go the other way, and they score. It's Bo Horvat from Tanner Pearson at 3:32, and it was a nice goal, and Horvat really looks motivated. He looks like he really wants to get back into the playoffs. And again, preseason, you'll take it all with a grain of salt, but Horvat looked good today. The Canucks then pressed for another. Burden made saves. And remember, part of the storyline here for the Jets is it's Comrie versus Burden, and who's going to make that jump to being the backup. I think Burden played well. I wouldn't want the job that Cheveldayoff has to decide which one actually gets the backup job. It might be easier to give it to Comrie, but is it the right call? I thought Burden played well. Jets had no shots 7 minutes into the game. Their first shot was actually at 7 minutes and 10 seconds. That was a problem they had in this game, was slow off the hop. The Canucks though only had two, so it's not like the Canucks had a ton of shots at that point. Horvat nearly gets another, draws a power play on that one. OEL hits the post. The next shot was saved, and then there was a post for Patan. Horvat had a tip that was saved. So on that power play, where they end up going 0 for 1, the Canucks had 4 shots and 2 posts. That's a pretty good power play. Nash then had a tip that was saved, and then it's Malott. Malott scores from Reichel and Gavanka at 12:15. Thank you, John Shorthouse, for the Gavanka bit. Because I look at that and I go, that's Gawanke. That's not it. That's not even close. It's Gavanka. So then Hunt had a shot, chest save by Burden. OEL then had a shot that was saved as well. The Canucks had the edge, but the game's tied. And this is not that unusual in Canucks history. We're out shooting them. Why are we not ahead? We're out chancing them. Still not ahead. Horvat was everywhere so far in the game. Bowie fires one high. Glove save then on Podkolzin, who I thought played well. Podkolzin, it's going to take him a little while, I think, to get things going, but I thought he played well enough tonight. The Canucks then pressed with 4 minutes left. The Jets had really very, very little offensive zone time to that stage of the game. Höglander had a chance on a turnover, but it wouldn't go. More Canucks pressure. Horvat's line, again, is just fantastic. Horvat, Höglander, Pearson. Höglander is better, I think, defensively than he probably gets credit for. He's good at creating turnovers, a lot of energy, and pretty good speed, too. 54.9 seconds left. The Canucks had a too many men call, which explained why they were doing so well with the puck at that stage of the game. They're just, wow, the Jets can't get it. Well, there is one extra Canuck. So, it's not one of those, hey, so this guy's coming off and that guy's coming on. No, all 6 of them are playing. Dubois then fired one high, and the Canucks would clear it out. So that ends the first period. Second period, the Canucks did finish off the kill. Dowling. I thought Dowling had a good game, creating some chances early as the Canucks press. And, yeah, I think Justin Dowling's played well enough to maybe get himself a job on that fourth line. The fourth line's going to be interesting for Vancouver. There's some curious names on that list. Garland then hit Stanley. Noteworthy because Garland's not a very big player, but Stanley is. And Stanley wasn't really braced for the hit. And he went off favoring, I believe it's his left arm. And yeah, he wouldn't return to the game. Dubois then had a net drive. Halak makes the save. Garland had a shot that was saved. We get some scrumminess going on. Garland goes to the box. But he brings a Jet with him, so it's 4-on-4. Stanley then had a shot that was saved. This is before he came out of the game, but the Garland hit is what I think actually took him out of the game, where he had at least a shift or two, but he would leave. Patan then scored from Bowie and Miller at 5:03. That's during the 4-on-4. And again, Bowie's one of those ones to keep an eye on. as we come out of camp, because there's an opening there without Hamnick. And so somebody who otherwise wouldn't have made the team is going to make the team. And it looked like a set play on the Petan goal. Lockwood was throwing hits. I think Lockwood has played well. What you're looking for in your bottom six is energy guys, right? This is why I think Svechnikov earned a job with the Jets today too. You want energy guys, you want that effort. And I saw that with Lockwood. I saw that with Svechnikov. So one on each team there, right? Canucks end up getting a power play. Dowling couldn't bury one. Crazy net pressure after the power play ends. Höglander just couldn't bury one there. Chason couldn't bury it either. And there's some negativity in Canuck land regarding Chason on that tryout. I will say this. He played on the power play today. And obviously that's part of the reason they brought him in, is because, he had those power play points playing with, what's his name, McDavid, as well as Draisaitl. And so it doesn't seem to translate with Vancouver to this point. I don't think he's going to get himself a contract out of Vancouver. I get the feeling he's going to end up getting released from that tryout. The Canucks just have too many guys competing for bottom six spots that they don't have to worry about waiving if they send him down. Halak then robbed Vesalainen. Rare Jets shot, to be honest. Vesalainen, I thought, did well on the penalty kill today. Just little things he's doing in order to try to earn himself a job. The Canucks get another power play. It was a 4-minute high stick for Riley Nash. Rathbone with a point shot that was saved. The Jets cleared it out. There was a shorthanded chance for Vesalainen. Burden has been good. The Jets do manage to kill off both of the minor penalties, the double minor back-to-back, and so the Canucks are now 0 for 4 on the power play. The first power play was very good. The second power play was okay. The double minor was not good. Halak then robbed Nash on a toe drag move, but that was only the 10th shot for the Jets, and that's how many they had through 40 minutes, was 10 shots. Not the best Jets game offensively. So we go to the third period with it 2-1 for Vancouver. DiPietro started the third. At 23 seconds, the Jets get a power play. And they mentioned at this stage that Stanley had not only left, but that they'd said he will not return to the game. Is it just discretionary? Is this one of those out of abundance of caution, or is he hurt? We will find out over the next few days. Horvat then gets a chance. The power play had 3 shots, but it's 0 for 5. I think it's more important that they're getting opportunities, they're getting shots, and there seems to be structure to the power play. I'm not really worried about the offer that they pitched today. So we then get a Rathbone stuck on the ice. He is out there for almost 2 minutes, which leads to the Canucks ending up taking a penalty. So the Jets get a power play. There was a shorthanded chance for Dowling. The Canucks killed it off. There were no shots for the Jets on that power play. It goes to 0 for 2 on that one. The Jets still stuck on 10 shots for the game. Still had no shots in that period. Burden then makes a glove save on a chase-on shot. Svechnikov then gets the Jets' first shot at 8:33 on a good, hard-working play by himself. Podkolzin had a centering pass that deflected, one of those crazy deflections. Burden ends up covering it. 5 hits for Lockwood to that point in the game. He absorbed some hits as well. There was one that looked like it kind of rattled him, but yeah, I think Lockwood's a good energy guy, and if he gets onto the roster, again, there are some fascinating options for Vancouver in that bottom 6. Same for the Jets. Both of these teams have some interesting decisions to make between now and opening night. So Petan had a shot that deflects wide. Svechnikov to Kopp nearly connects, and then there's a turnover. Höglander kind of starts it. Horvat gets it. Puck goes back and forth. Ends up on Pearson's stick. And at 12:35, he gets the 3-1 goal from Höglander and Horvat. Vesalainen nearly answered. The Canucks would clear it out. DiPietro was sharp when tested. He wasn't tested a lot. I don't think this game necessarily tells you, oh, he should be ahead of Halak. And I mean, Halak only faced 10 shots through 2 periods, so this game is a wash in terms of deciding if there was any concern about, well, who's going to be the backup, which I don't think there is in Vancouver. This game would not clear that up at all. Horvat had a shot. Burden, I should say, with a nice shoulder save. Good thing Burden and Bowden aren't on the same team, or I'd be in trouble. Glove save then by DiPietro on a point shot, and then Christian Reichel scores from Gustafsson and Malott at 16:44. And there's Malott again. So this is 2 games of the Jets I've watched, and Malott has been prominent in both. At the very least, maybe he's one of the early call-ups if he ends up getting sent down, right? 2:34 left. There was a high stick that gave the Canucks a power play, and I thought this could end it. This was their 6th power play. It doesn't last. There was a set play to Horvat. Burden makes the save there. He did play the whole game. Short-handed chance then for Nash, and with 1:53 left, the Jets decide we're going to pull the goalie, so it's 5-on-5. We've got a face-off at the Canucks' end. Then with 1:44 left, Dowling takes a penalty, and so, of course, that makes it a 5-on-4 because of the goaltender being pulled. The Jets call a timeout. They cycled it. OEL gets the puck. Couldn't clear it out when he got the puck. Harkins then couldn't bury one. They get a scrum after a DiPietro save there. Svechnikov and Horvat get into some pushy, sticky there. And, Svechnikov gets 2 and a 10-minute misconduct, which either means he was talking a little bit on the ice, or it was just he was kind of wooling around everybody. And either way, Svechnikov gets the 2 and 10. But I think he showed a lot of energy, and I think Evgeny Svechnikov's proven that he should be on the Winnipeg roster. I'd be really surprised if he doesn't make it. And if by some chance the Jets say, all right, we're pretty set in our ways, and we like our team as is, sorry, Evgeny, but we're going to go in another direction, I would think somebody else picks him up. I would think somebody else would give him a contract. Because the effort's there. I know he'll never have the same kind of finish that his brother has, but there's a little bit of grit there. There's some effort there. And this is where the difference between him and Chason stands out. You've got a guy on a tryout that's really, you can see that effort in Svechnikov. And for Chason, I don't know that Chason's done enough to warrant the Canucks signing him. I'd honestly be kind of surprised if they do. But we'll see what happens. Benning's capable of some surprises, isn't he? So we'll see. I didn't need the 4 today. So the 4 sits at the bottom of the board. See, there it is, number 4, just down here. But your final score is 3-2 for Vancouver. It was not an overly pretty game, but I watched it so I could review it and tell all you fine people what happened. And again, we'll see how the jobs shake down. I would think that Vancouver has some games still coming up. I would think after the next game, they probably make that big round of cuts and you get a really good idea for what their team could look like. For the Jets, they may wait till after the next game as well. We'll see. Let me know your thoughts regarding that in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just tap it upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. And, final question, Burden or Comrie, who gets the backup job? Let me know your thoughts. I will talk to you again soon.